Ask yourself a simple question. What is the most intelligent way for humanity to globally operate as a people? Currently, nations, both in a political and economic sense, compete against each other to advance their own national interests. This results in endless conflicts, divisions, and serious problems in the world. Therefore, wouldn't it be more intelligent and beneficial to all nations if they were to stop competing against each other and instead globally work together towards a set of shared goals that would benefit them all? In this way, nations would no longer be in conflict with each other. They would all be on the same side and aligned to achieving the same set of shared goals. As a result, the world would phenomenally improve across all sectors of society. Now ask yourself, how could this be achieved in the shortest time possible? Good morning. I've invited you all here today because I have something very important to share with you and the people of the world. Recently, I've been reflecting on an idea which I'm convinced will be of great benefit to this country and all the nations of the world. In the time that I've been in office and had the honour of serving my country, one problem has always been present, which I've never been able to resolve. And no, I don't mean what colour wallpaper to use in the office. What I'm referring to is the constant challenge of trying to find solutions to problems that are beyond my control. For example, the development and spread of dangerous weapons and technology throughout the world, or the increasing risk of nuclear conflict as a result of countries fighting over resources. That is until recently, when I realized that all of these problems had the same underlying cause. They all related to conflicts of interest between different parties. Nations have conflicts of interest all the time. Often these are political, sometimes economic, and they can even be personal between political leaders. When a business competes against another business, there is a clear conflict of interest between them. There are often conflicts of interest between national governments and political parties. As a result, this can lead to political aggression, computer hacking, and international spying. We also see conflicts of interest between individuals when they apply for the same job. Clearly, while these conflicts of interest exist, humanity will remain in conflict with itself. Which got me to thinking, what if there was a way to remove these conflicts of interest between us? What would it take to achieve this? After speaking with a number of individuals, much wiser than myself, we arrived at the same conclusion each time. To move beyond our conflicted interests, we would have to align our interests to the same set of shared goals and then make a global commitment to work together to achieve them. I believe this is possible. While each country has its own unique identity, we still share a common set of goals. And as individuals, we also share a common set of core values. In order to align the interests of all nations, we will need to form a new International Humanitarian Organization, or IHO, which is capable of neutrally representing the interests of all countries equally. Also, in order for the IHO to make impartial decisions which globally benefit all nations, it will need to be non-political and fully independent. The IHO should be professionally represented by our best international minds, both humanitarian and scientific, whom are currently working in academic and professional sectors throughout the world. Trust and integrity will be essential to the success of the IHO, which is why it will also require independent oversight and full transparency. At this point, I'd like to extend an invitation to my fellow leaders around the world to meet and discuss how we can all benefit from this new global approach. I have no doubt that this will be an historic moment in our history as a people, a moment when we decided that we could achieve more by working together as nations than by standing alone. That's all for now. I only have time for a few questions. Yes, Tom.
Mr. President, after each world war, a humanitarian organisation was formed so that nations could meet to air any grievances, in the hope that this would help avert any future war. I think most people would agree that both the League of Nations and the United Nations have failed to live up to their intended objectives. Therefore, what makes you think that this new international humanitarian organisation will be any different?
Thank you, Tom. I think that's a fair question. And as you point out, both organisations were formed after a world war. We reacted to the situation instead of trying to put a proactive solution in place. I don't want to see us make the same mistake a third time. We have some serious global problems in the world today, and it's going to require a global solution to fix. Also, there are some very important differences between those previous organisations and the IHO. One of these is that for the first time in our history, we were making a commitment to work together as a collection of nations for the common good of all people. This is not something that was done in the past with the League of Nations or the United Nations. This time we can address that mistake and implement a real solution that makes intelligent sense and benefits all nations equally. Yes.
Mr. President, considering that the United Nations already exists as an international humanitarian organisation, wouldn't it just be easier and more cost-effective to transform it into this new IHO?
That's a sensible point, and it's certainly open to discussion. But until I've met the leaders of other nations and listened to their views, it's not yet possible to answer. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. As a people, we create our own problems due to the constant political and economic conflicts of interest between nations, governments, businesses, and individuals. We currently lack any form of true global cooperation between nations. The point of this video was to demonstrate how simple it can be to fix and address that problem. By truly working together as nations, we can end all conflicts and achieve international peace. We can also efficiently address climate change in the shortest possible time, and we can implement global solutions across all sectors of society that will equally benefit all countries and protect the well-being of the planet. The role of the IHO in this process is to act as a non-political, neutral representative organisation of all nations, capable of implementing sensible global decisions on their behalf. Effectively, this new global model will benefit all countries equally and put an end to the petty and aggressive politics and selfish economic practices that we often see in the world today. As demonstrated in the video, all it takes is the decision of one influential leader to step up to the microphone and share with the world's media their willingness to work together in global cooperation with other nations for the common good of all people. While the video highlighted an American president launching this global initiative, any influential leader of any nation is capable of initiating this process and uniting humanity as a people. Before he died, I believe Nelson Mandela understood the great importance of this message when he himself announced it to a group of close friends and associates.
Our task is to unite humanity throughout the world. And if you act as an individual, you will never be able to achieve that.
Personally, I can think of no cause more globally important or noble than the act of uniting the nations of the world so that we can start to truly work together as a people for the common good of all countries. The question is, does humanity have a single influential leader that is willing to help initiate this historic process?